Hey there, welcome back to video 3 of Conversations
At the fire door. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Were you sleeping?
I was, but I'm awake. Let's do this. I'm ready.
Or you just like passed out?
I was. It's important.
We're live on camera. It's not quite live.
Okay. Sorry.
Camera is rolling, so
I'll get a little smoothie and then we'll go.
we do have smoothies today.
All right, so we're talking about sleep today.
You got a little smoothie.
Talking about sleep today. Why is it important? Why do you need to do it? If you've made it this far in life, you've probably done it at least once.
At least once. If you're 1 day old, you probably have slept at some point in time.
And now we're here to tell you how to do it better.
Right. For some reason, sleep has become a huge issue in a lot of our lives. I mean, it's been a huge issue in my life in the past. Completely derailed me for a period of years, actually.
Yeah.
Probably one of the single biggest hurdles to get people to sleep. So some of the issues that typically happen are what?
Sometimes they want to sleep and they can't. I mean, they're trying to go to bed at the time when they know is the right time, but for whatever reason, they cannot fall asleep, or they get asleep and then they're up 2 hours later, and then they fall back asleep, and then they wake up an hour later, and they never get that deep, restful sleep that is going to rejuvenate their body and their minds. It's a huge issue that I work with people on, and there's no one cause. I mean, one cause could be stress, obviously.
That's a huge issue, with external stresses coming in, and just literally at night, your hormonal profile is completely out of whack, and your cortisol spikes at night, and you're literally, you get that with a quote unquote second wind right before you fall asleep. You're like, I'm so tired.
Right.
Why am I awake? Well, because your stress hormone's like out of control.
Yeah. So if people aren't sleeping, one of the first things I look at is what are their stress levels like.
Right.
The next thing I'll look at is it could be something silly like you're drinking a big glass of water because you're trying to catch up on the water that you were supposed to drink throughout the day, and then you're waking up to go to the bathroom, and then you can't get back to sleep after you go to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. That's a simple thing that sometimes happens. Sometimes it's external noise, or you just had a baby. I mean, there's not really a solution for if you have a baby, right?
Yeah, you're kind of SOL.
Right. And so optimizing the other areas of your life, nutrition, it's all the more important to eat well when you're sleep deprived. It's all the more important to take time for yourself and do things like that.
Right.
For me, why don't we just talk about our sleep habits, and maybe that'll kind of spur on some stuff.
Yeah, well, first, I'd like to go back to when I was having issues with sleeping. It was primarily, with my story, it was doing too much, so waking up too early, and not necessarily staying up too late, but just I was waking up so early, and then the end of my day would go till close to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And it was literally, once I started tracking my sleep just to get some sort of objective look at it with the Sleep Cycle app, I started realizing that I was only sleeping 5 hours a night. And I've always known that I'm a sensitive Sally when it comes to getting my sleep, and it completely disrupts how I feel and how I just respond in a day-to-day process. So once I kind of got that visual that holy crap, I am not taking care of my sleep, then I just started proactively changing things. Just shifting clients and just whatever I had to do. Whatever it was, you just start making a little more cutthroat decisions. But once that all started to shift, and basically the habit became, and still is, getting, for me, I need roughly, it ends up being like 8 hours, 7.5, which is what you should get. Right. But everyone's a little bit different. That's just where I fall.
Right.
And even when I get that, sometimes I still need a little siesta midday, like a 20-minute where I just need to turn off the engines and recharge. But if I end up, for whatever reason, not getting that much sleep, if I stay up too late, wake up too early for some noise or whatever, I typically need like a 90-minute nap during the day. and I'll block that in. It just has to happen, or else everything just starts to go off kilter.
Yeah. For me, I've tinkered with my sleep a lot. I used to stay up just not even 3 years ago till 11:30, 12:30, kind of every night. And then I'd get 7.5, 8 hours of sleep. So I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm getting the required amount of sleep. I cannot tell you the world of difference it made going to bed by 10 p.m.
Right.
Insane increases in energy, insane increases in mental clarity the next day, in being able to work out harder, and just everything improved when I've lost belly fat when I went to bed earlier, and I knew that intuitively, but I kind of thought I could cheat the system because I was eating really healthy and I knew all this other stuff. It was like, there's no replacement for getting high quality sleep. And the old rule, go to bed, an hour of sleep before midnight is worth 2 hours after. I learned that firsthand. I'm like, there's something to that. It's really true. So the things I had to give up in order to do that, I realized that all I was doing was watching TV or doing stupid stuff on the computer for an extra hour and a half, 2 hours, when I could have just gone to bed.
Right, and now it's even more tempting when you got your iPhone or iPad.
Yeah.
It's completely accessible every day.
Yeah. And there's plenty of good entertainment and stuff after 10 p.m. on TV, and so you're going to be going against the norm again, right? But do you prioritize how you're feeling and your energy the next day versus watching Conan? I love Conan, by the way, but you have to make these decisions, and it's okay to stay up one night or 2 nights out of the week.
Right.
But knowing how important it is, if you're really trying to improve your health, you have to make those sacrifices almost. And there's a lot of different applications out there. You mentioned the Sleep Cycle app, where you can track your sleep, see when you're waking up. I realized that my sweet spot was 7 hours and 20 minutes. I set my alarm for 7 hours and roughly 30 minutes. It takes me about 10 minutes to fall asleep. So now I do 7 hours, 30 minutes, and I wake up at 7 hours 20, and it's without fail, I'm like right on that edge of waking up anyway, and I wake up feeling completely refreshed. A lot of people, they're getting 8 hours, but they're waking up right in the middle of deep sleep, and then they feel like somebody just dropped a ton of bricks on their face, and the last thing they want to do is get out of bed, and they're hitting the alarm 20 times. So experimenting with when you go to bed, earlier is always better, and then when you wake up can really affect how eager you are to get out of bed, and then how you feel throughout the day. The other thing is you must eliminate as many bright lights in your bedroom as you can. A lot of people have VCRs, or they have little LED lights on their alarm clock or whatever that stuff is. Cover it up, or get something that doesn't have that.
Yeah, I mean, on that note, when I started diving into sleep patterns and alternative sleep patterns, trying to figure out like how I could fit things into my life.
Yeah.
Started doing a lot of research on it, and potentially one of the major arguments for the decreased health of Americans and just society is artificial lighting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the fact that lights are on past when the sun drops.
Yeah.
It's completely thrown our circadian rhythm out of whack, and we're having a hard time figuring it out.
Yeah.
So now you've got little lights on in your room. You think the alarm clock next to you is a good thing to have, and it's not.
Right.
And you got the lights outside coming in from the street. You've really got to black that out. And when the sun goes down, we need to start coming down.
Yeah. Dim the lights.
Yeah.
Use candles.
Yeah.
Don't have a bright iPad screen. Get something that's going to calm the nervous system down, calm everything down. But most people were wiring ourselves up, and then we're like, it's time for bed. I can't go to bed.
Yeah, and I've got 8 hours. I'm on the clock. I got to wake up. My alarm's going to go off, and I got to go to work. And really like a proper sleep cycle. And also, this is one of those situations where somebody wakes up in the middle of the night and then like they can't fall back asleep. They think they need 8 hours straight. It's actually very natural to have that block of sleep.
Yeah.
First, there's 2 REM cycles.
Yep.
And then you wake up in the middle of the night.
Right.
Like I wake up every night now. Especially, I'm more aware of it now that I know it should exist.
Yeah.
And if I have a 10-hour block of sleep, it's almost ideal, because what I end up doing is falling asleep for 4 hours. I'll wake up for 30 to 60 minutes in the middle of the night, which is totally cool, and I like it. And then I'll fall back asleep for another REM cycle.
Yeah.
And
that is a good point. You don't have to go to bed, wake up. You can wake up. But I think a lot of people start to beat themselves up and they stress that they're not asleep.
Exactly.
And then they can't get to sleep.
Yeah, and a lot of that is just the sheer amount of time from, if you go to bed at 11, you got to wake up at 7, you only have 8 hours. Well, the reality is that the sun went down at 8 o'clock.
Right.
So you should start winding down at 8 o'clock, fall asleep by 9 or 10, and give yourself that kind of buffer ability.
For sure.
I mean, you would agree with me that sleep is the first place that you have to look for optimal health. If your sleep is out of whack, you may as well forget about the diet. You may as well forget about everything.
Forget about going to the gym. Forget about first priority. Number one priority should be rest.
Yes.
And sleep.
Do you feel like a broken record saying that to your clients?
Sometimes.
And to everybody? Like
to myself even, but.
Well, yeah, just like do less. Please protect your sleep, like over and over and over
again.
Well,
everything is about doing more. You have to cook more. You have to go to the gym more to be healthy.
Yeah.
And no one's talking about do less.
Yeah.
Or do less.
Yeah. Or if you are talking about it, it's like it's hard to get that message through. Yeah. For someone to truly embrace
we
it.
like to feel like we're doing something to accomplish something when we need to step back and just be like, clear my schedule. I'm sleeping.
I mean, if you have to consider sleep doing something,
right,
then do more sleep.
Yeah, right. There you go. That's the way to rephrase it.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to lose weight, you have to sleep. If you're not sleeping, don't expect to lose weight. And I don't say that to be mean, like, oh, you're not sleeping, you're never going to lose weight. I mean, understand that and know that, don't expect to have huge weight loss, what the heck's the word I'm looking for? Drops in weight. If you know you're not sleeping, if you've had a really stressful week, if other issues are affecting it, be okay with that. We're not mad at you if you're not sleeping currently. We're encouraging you to make that your number one focus to start. Until you optimize your sleep, yes, nutrition's important, and that can even help your sleep and stuff. We won't say it doesn't work together.
Yeah, all of it interweaves. If you're having an increased amount of stress in your life, your sleep's going to be affected. If you're eating off, your body is going to be inflamed and not be able to process things properly, so you're just overall stressed, and now your sleep's out, whatever. And if you're not sleeping enough, now you're more stressed.
But if you have the choice of waking up early and going to like a 6 a.m. spinning class or sleep.
Yeah, I know, that sounds crazy.
Unless you're feeling great and then go to a spinning class. But
if you've been sleeping well the past...
It's going to up your cortisol and all that stuff if you do the spinning class when you're sleep deprived.
Right.
And people just push it and push it and push it and push it and push it, and pretty soon they're burnt out.
Yeah.
And then they can't sleep at all. They're fried.
Broken. Yeah.
They're their whole system's fried.
And not only can you not lose weight, sometimes you'll gain weight. And then it's a process of like recovery. Like, all right, you really need to do nothing for a period of time.
Like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just do nothing.
Yeah.
And you'll probably lose weight.
Oh, yeah. And you'll hear that kind of theme too. It's like every time I just stop trying, everything starts to work.
Yeah.
Well, that's just because you were doing too much, whether it was physically or, dieting too hard, feeling like you're restricting yourself. It's like when you just give up and just like mentally let go and start sleeping more and just relax, that's when it all starts to unfold and work.
Yeah.
Zach, we're still talking here. All right. I guess that's the cue that this video is over. We put you to sleep. All right. So thanks for joining us.
So boring, Patrick.
I know. It's like, just do less. Go back to bed, please. If you're watching this and it's 11 p.m., you better turn it off. Wait till the sun comes up.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us in this video 3 of 6.
Yes.
We have 3 more videos to come, but below this video, we're going to give you the top 10 tips to help protect your sleep. Did you see that?
The fly.
The fly.
Yeah.
The fly got in.
Top 10 tips to protect your sleep and start optimizing it. In one sentence, what do you want people to take away from this video?
Do less, protect your sleep, and you are money. Hey there, welcome to video 3.
Hold on. I can't act. Let's try it one more time. Should I drool? I look dead.
I don't know why it's that funny.
I'm snorting. All right, cool. Here we go. I'm out like a light.